There's a channel on YouTube right now that is absolutely on fire. The Patriot Nurse has always put out great content. She's been on YouTube for nearly a decade. Recently, however, it has gone to another level. Her most recent expose on states' rights is a must-see, must-listen to for everyone. It's titled, Texas Leads the Way, Sues the Feds and What You Can Do Now. It is a comprehensive breakdown of how our country is supposed to run. She has her own website. She trains on everything, beans, bolts, band-aids. She's a nurse, medical training. No better source on the internet or on YouTube for this type of information, bar none. Case in point on states' rights. It does not matter what DC does. It doesn't matter the orders they release, how they pontificate about what they want to do or the direction they think we should go, unless they have the collusion of the states. They are toothless. Case in point that proves this statement. Governor DeSantis, along with Governor Abbott from Texas and Governor Sununu from up in New Hampshire, have collectively recalled our respective National Guard troops from D.C. See, here's a little dirty little secret people don't want you to know. The President of the United States is only Commander-in-Chief during wartime. Wartime established by Congress. We are not. So therefore, the National Guard falls under the governors. The order was given, and they are returning. Period. Governor DeSantis, and this is FloridaPolitics.com, orders Florida National Guard back from, quote-unquote, half-cocked mission at U.S. Capitol. Governor Ron DeSantis has ordered Florida National Guard members to return home from Washington, D.C. DeSantis discussed the decision Friday morning on Fox and Friends, decrying a half-cocked mission that had outlived its purpose. Quote, these folks are soldiers, not Nancy Pelosi's servants. DeSantis said, this is a half-cocked mission at this point, and the appropriate thing is to bring them home. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard the stories about reports found guardsmen and women were forced to leave the Capitol Thursday and instead take their rest in a nearby parking garage. The facility had just one bathroom with 2 stalls for some 5,000 troops. In the garage, there was no internet reception and just one electrical outlet. Blah, 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 blah. Look, the Florida National Guard is the finest in the country. By far. I know that's probably something anyone from any particular state would say. But as soldiers, you learn to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Great training opportunity. Great training opportunity. Something unplanned happened. You had to leave the building. You had to go figure out how to survive. You see, planning is always necessary, but plans usually don't survive first contact with the enemy. And this is a great example. I don't care what D.C. says about the Second Amendment. I don't care what they say about anything else, unless they have the collusion of the governors and the people on the ground willing to enforce it, which they don't in many states. It's toothless. And I also brought this map up just to show people that the Army has quite a big presence in Florida. Everyone is familiar, of course, with all of the Air Force bases and the Navy bases. But all of these little yellow stars that you see right here, these are all Florida Army National Guard units. We don't fear them, like in many other places that fear the military. We embrace them. They're part of our communities. They live next door. We see them at the grocery store. It's not a them and us thing. And this is a great example to show you that These men and women serve the people of the state of Florida. Just like the National Guard in Texas, just like the National Guard in New Hampshire. They serve our peace, not the nation's. I mean, yes, the nation can call upon them, and we will, of course, serve when asked to, but we will not serve against the interest of our own people. See, I zoom out on the globe like this on the left for a reason, because this is what the Democrats, progressives, and liberals see. This is what patriots see. The people of Tennessee, the people of Georgia, the people of Mississippi, the people of Texas, the people of Florida. This is a fantastic opportunity to highlight this and outline this, how powerless DC is without the collusion of the people on the ground. Now, in contrast, stark contrast, in fact, those of you living in the new North Korean colonies of Pennsylvania, formerly known as Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, you have a choice. You have a choice. The tyrant Whitmer has now been outed. Because just like in North Korea, she sends down mandates that don't apply to her. She went to the inauguration in D.C., even though the people in her state weren't supposed to get together in groups larger than 25. Funny, in this picture, I don't see any social distancing with those masks. And just following the example of her leader, Biden, dear leader, who went to the Lincoln Memorial. No masks, federal property, after he signed the order. One rule for thee, but not for me. New North Korea confirmed. Oh, by the way, this is the new flag of Michigan, by the way, right here. And you can look this up. I'll give you the link to this too. They'll be rolling that out pretty soon. If you're living in occupied lands, in the new North Korean colonies of Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, you have a choice. They don't have walls up yet, keeping you in. See, people talk about walls trying to keep people out. Up there, it's going to be to keep people in because they need the tax revenue. That's why I've used this map over and over again. I'm going to continue to show it. And I'm going to continue to show it. We are a republic of states. We are a republic of states. We are not this. We are not this. This is a continent. We are a republic of states. Was it the character Benjamin Martin in The Patriot that said, "Why would I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? Why would I do that?" But this is really the key. If you won't do it for yourself, will you do it for your kids? This is what the new North Korean states aren't seeing, because if there's one group of people out there who wants their freedom more than anything, it's the kids. It's the kids. And they're eventually going to do one of two things. They're either going to break or they're going to leave. They're going to go places where there's freedom, because that's just how they're wired. See, they're too young to have been trained yet. They're too young to have had life beat them down that badly yet into submission. How bad do you have to be running your state? How bad do you have to be running your state for multiplied millionaires living in mansions being ready to bail? It's Matt Stafford and his wife in this palatial, beautiful place they built up in Michigan. They're ready to bail. There's certain things money can't buy. One of the things the Patriot nurse mentioned in her most recent video was how the hedge of protection has been lifted. Could not agree with her more. Could not agree with her more. DC has set itself on a path now. There is no hope. There's going to be a day come when you are thankful Mr. Trump is back home where he belongs in Mar-a-Lago. There's going to be a day come when people look and go, oh my goodness, can you imagine if? Can you imagine if? Is this how you want to live? Is this how you want? I'm just asking, is this how you want to live? Is this what you want government doing? If it isn't, there are places you can go. I've said it now and I'll say it again. If I had a choice between a good job and a nice house and a car in a pretty neighborhood in Michigan, or living in my car digging ditches 7 days a week in Florida, I'd dig ditches 7 days a week and sleep in my car in Florida before I would accept even a free house, car, and job in Michigan or Pennsylvania or Illinois or Wisconsin or Minnesota. Under no circumstances of my own volition would I ever consider spending even one night in those states. You can call me anti-American if you want, but I've also said this before too. The people of Florida share a lot more of a value system with the people of Brazil than they do with the people of Michigan right now. And if you're there and you don't share that value system, you need to leave. But don't mistake my derision for fear. Because this is my first reaction to Joe Biden. With all due respect, sir, you're beginning to bore the hell out of me. It's more wisdom from Gunny Highway. So, I will just leave it there, but I will reiterate, the Patriot Nurse right now, the number one source of great information on YouTube, perhaps the internet, bar none. Bar none. Like, share, subscribe.